Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brett Hurt. My phone number is 864-236-1680. We're back in the shop with the Vic 11 and the slip spring per the other video. When I cranked it up, you could hear it go thunky, thunky, thunky. Well, here's the problem right here. So I have a video on how to fix this. I fixed the other spring. So what happens is every time it wound up, it goes like this and it hits this pin or nipple, whatever you want to call it. Well, I had to machine a new one. But what happened was it rounded it out. So you can see here, that's the rounded outside. This side over here is the good side. Now you see the hole is I center drilled it in my drill press to get it out because these are riveted in like an old steam engine. You know, they rivet things together. Like here, you can see the rivets that hold the gear in place. These are all riveted in from the factory. But how do I hold the spring barrel in place to pack it without damaging my gear that's riveted onto the barrel? You put it in 2 pieces of soft pine wood and you hold it with a gear. And it will not hurt the gears. It just presses in. The other barrel, here's the rivet. You have to center drill that out to get it out. You don't want to grind this off because you don't want to mar this. You might make the hole that it goes through larger. I built a new pin on the lathe and then I hammered it down. I left it a little bigger and I use a ball peen hammer. And what you can do if you're at home, you can have a piece of steel like this in your vise, lock that in. Then you hold the rivet in place like that you've made and you ball peen it down. Well, I happen to have an anvil and I used my anvil. I first started with my piece of steel to set it in place. Then I came in with a ball peen hammer and I started knocking it down, making sure I didn't hit the gear. And I pinned it back in place. At the factory, they had a machine. It went in and this thing came down, this rivet piece, it's rounded out like the rivet and it went kaboom and it was in place. That's how they did them at the factory. Now that I fixed this, I'll put it all back together. One more point on Victor machines. Victor has 2 different governor bearings. You see this hole they machined right here, this slot? The other bearing doesn't have one. And what people do on rebuilds is the end gear for the governor goes into that bearing with a slot to hold it in place because the governor drives back like that. This other one, which is bigger, is the adjustment to set the gap on a Victor machine. I had one come in. In fact, I had one come in once. This guy goes, I paid money to have it and it doesn't run right. First thing I did was check the governor bearings, swapped them out, put it back together, oiled it up, let him go down the road. It was great, a lot of fun. Hey, this is a fun hobby. I love doing this stuff, and that's my tip for the day.